What's up, everybody? Welcome to another And Now Just Listen video review. I'm here with Nick. What's up, Nick?
What's up?
And we're going to be talking a little bit today about maybe a controversial game.
Ooh.
Ooh, my, what is it? We're going to be giving a...
If you didn't already read the video description.
Yeah. By the way, if you clicked on this video, this is the most pointless, tantalizing you've ever heard. We're going to be... reviewing The Order 1886. Nick played through the entirety of the game.
I did.
And then I sampled, I guess, we'll say, about the first hour of the game.
Yep.
So Nick's going to do the majority of the talking here. And
I went through the whole buffet.
And I'll add my 2 cents of the appetizer salad bar as we go along. We'll have a thumbs up or thumbs down at the end regardless. So,
which you won't be able to see. But...
Centuries have passed, but our order has remained steadfast in its sacred mission to preserve the balance between man and half-breed.
So I played the game for, I'd say like 8 hours. It took me that long to complete the campaign.
That seems like about average.
Yeah. And I spent some time looking at a couple of nooks and crannies here and there, picked up a few things to look at. Fought all the baddies. Literally picked up things and looked at them.
Yeah.
Over and over and over.
Spoiler alert, I did that in the first hour too, and I was just say
over
that was part of the part of the contributing factor to me not continuing on.
I enjoyed my time in the world and the setting. I enjoyed what they were offering me in terms of like how they were building their background.
Yeah, they've created cool lore and an interesting setting to put their game into.
I found that it was quite boring to play through. Close to the end, during the last main encounter, I was just like, do I have to do this again? There wasn't really a sense of progression throughout the game in terms of the player's progression.
So it starts to feel so repetitive that after 8 hours, you just kind of...
Yeah.
It's same old already.
You don't see... I mean, there are no upgrades to your character or weaponry. There's no additional skills that you learn throughout the game. The same things that you use at the beginning of the game, you use at the end of the game.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really give you a sense of accomplishment other than a story progression.
How about the arsenal? Does the arsenal really expand off of what you get in the beginning, or is it pretty stagnant throughout?
I can't tell for sure because they are run-of-the-mill guns. You have your bolt-action rifle, your semi-auto, full-auto handguns.
Yeah.
Those are the main things that you're using. Any of the special weapons, like if you've seen any other reviewers, any of the special weapons you use are very sparingly and for a portion of one level.
I know that I got to use the arc gun.
Yeah.
And it was literally to shoot one guy.
Yeah.
So.
And then you were done.
Yep. And
back to regular guns.
More like back to a million cutscenes, then I turned it off. But
back to walking and talking. That's basically one of the other themes of the game.
I think the fact that you say you can't tell is pretty damning in and of itself.
Yeah, none of the guns have a sense of character.
Yeah, they're not memorable
at
all.
It really is bullets flying from you to them.
Auto rifle X, pistol Y, shotgun A.
Which isn't to say that the shooting is
there's a difference between bad shooting and bad weapons. So
the shooting in the game is what you would expect.
It was decent. It handled okay. It wasn't my favorite, but it handled fine.
I also noticed that there weren't really any times that you could choose what to do in the game.
Yeah.
You're basically told exactly what to do.
And where to go.
And you follow
a literal corridor.
Yeah.
All the time.
One hallway.
Yeah.
That brings you to the next encounter area.
Yeah. And you talked about finding extra items off the beaten path and whatnot. And granted, I didn't play very much of the game, but I did a little bit of like, check this side room, and plenty of them had nothing at all in them.
Yeah, especially in the beginning. Yeah. And that is such a video game trope too that every side room will have at least like ammo.
Well, especially when you're in a literal hallway and then there's a closet and
For
you go
no
in the
reason.
closet and there's nothing in there. It's like, why is this here?
It's superfluous. Other than the fact that you can look at the visuals of the game, which are obviously extremely beautiful.
I always wanted to know what a closet in the Order would look like, so at least now I know.
And it's well rendered.
Yeah, the wall texturing was great.
A lot of the areas in the game are just kind of like set pieces. You're really kind of floating through from one area to the next, being led by a thread of cutscenes and exposition that don't really give any importance. The story in general is just kind of an event, that happens over the course of a couple of months. It doesn't really give you a climax or an end to the story because they're trying to set up, hopefully, a franchise out of this. But we'll see what happens, what comes of that.
I have a question.
Okay.
When you say set pieces, are these do they ever end up feeling more like, the big set piece moments in something like Uncharted or Call of Duty, or do they kind of end up feeling more shooting gallery? Like, I believe early on I said I had a comment about this is like Area 51.
Yeah.
Because you're literally in a hallway and guys are popping out from the sides and you shoot them.
Yeah, I would say set pieces in a more negative tone than
Okay,
than
so it's not
Uncharted.
big, cool, awesome
I would
set
say
pieces. It's
no.
like, here's an action sequence, and then back to the cutscenes.
Yeah, I would say more along the lines of BioShock Infinite, where you open up a door and then you just see barricades like all over the place.
Here's your combat encounter.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you know exactly that it's going to be a combat encounter.
Yeah.
A lot of like rooftop jumping, which leads us to like your favorite.
When I had to jump across from one fire escape to another, and the game cut away to a alternative perspective cutscene of me jumping across, and then cut back to me playing the game, and it was just so superfluous, and it was very jarring.
Yeah.
It actually detracts from the experience.
Yeah.
I know that Ready at Dawn was looking to create a more cinematic feeling experience, but I think that in a lot of cases, doing so can make it more jarring as a game experience.
Yeah, it was more to their detriment. So let's look at some things that Ready at Dawn did right with the game, in my opinion. Obviously, the game looks amazing.
Agreed.
I don't
Probably the best looking game I've ever seen.
Yeah, I don't think there's been a game on consoles that looks any better. Maybe Rise, Son of Rome on Xbox One.
Maybe.
But
And-
I haven't seen that personally.
And this, I don't know, Half-Life 2 or Crysis did at the time that they came
Yeah,
out.
benchmarks of their time.
Very, very much a benchmark of graphical capabilities of the time.
You also have to give them credit for the fact that the game ran well.
I didn't notice any hitching or anything when I was playing.
Yeah, there are no bugs or, jankiness aside from the companion AI. There wasn't really anything janky about it. And nobody really gave them credit for that because recent games that have come out completely broken for several months, which is unacceptable, when you're purchasing a $60 product.
Yeah.
So it is noteworthy to say that Ready at Dawn shipped a product that was not broken.
Worked out of the box.
I really like the atmosphere and the setting that they're using. It's not one, again, a lot of people have said it's not one that a lot of game studios have used in the past. It's kind of like a gothic Victorian era London setting with some supernatural elements in it. And that's what really pulled me into the game initially before it came out, was this setting and what they were trying to bring in terms of history and story to this game. It didn't pan out as well as I'd liked, but I think that's one of the reasons that I was able to stay.
Sure.
Also, I feel like the game was very succinct in what it was trying to do. I was going to say it was more focused in its vision than, say, Alien Isolation was in terms of its length.
Sure.
I think Alien Isolation was aware of its length and tried to remedy it more than...
Maybe padding out the length.
Yeah, exactly. More than Ready at Dawn
Sure.
did. I think they were aware of their length and didn't care as much.
That's fair.
I think there were a lot of button prompts that were wholly unnecessary and less
Like-
quick time events.
Yeah.
I think
There were a lot.
having an actual section of the game where you fight a boss as opposed to quick time event a boss would have been a much more efficient way of evoking a sense of danger as opposed to having everything be a movie that you watch and press buttons.
And I think it gives you more agency in the event as well.
Quick time events are such a old trope in the video game world that it doesn't send the correct message across, doesn't give you enough emotional impact into what you're playing. It's just an archaic way of expressing video game mechanics, in my opinion. I would have liked to see more choice in your gameplay. I mean, Gears of War, the franchise now that's a decade old, will give you minor choices. You go up here while I stay down here. You can go either way. I mean, those minor choices give you agency into what you're doing as opposed to feeling like you're being led along a story.
Right.
And that is a main difference between watching a movie and playing a video game.
Is your involvement.
Yeah.
It gets caught halfway in between both instead of being a well-done version of either.
Also, I probably could have done without looking at so much crap.
Oh, the item examining?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did not enhance the gameplay whatsoever. It didn't enhance the environment either. And it really was just to showcase graphical fidelity from Ready at Dawn. So a lot of those things probably could have done without. There's a nice Easter egg, though, that I found of one of the objects.
Oh, okay.
It was really cool. So those are a few things that I probably could have done without. I really hope that Ready at Dawn gets another chance at this for this franchise.
It'd be good to see them have the opportunity to take another crack at it.
I hope that PlayStation gives them that chance. I hope that they were given more of a contract to do a franchise.
Rather than one game and wait on sales. Yeah. I was of the opinion going into it that it's a really cool setting and a really cool lore and setup for the world
Absolutely.
that you're playing in. So they've got a good world to put a story in and a game in. So we'll see if they can have a better go in a second try. Thanks for checking out our video summary and review of the Order 1886. If you liked the video, comment and let us know. Give it a like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and our contact information for our Twitter, blog, email, and podcast are listed in the description below. And we'll catch you guys next time.